Yeah, so I always knew I was going to be a mother. The only things that I ever wanted was I was going to be a teacher and a mom. And when I was little, I thought I was going to have like 5 kids because that was my thing. And in health class and stuff in high school, I only learned how not to get pregnant. I never really knew that pregnancy didn't always end with taking a baby home. And so when we first decided we were ready to start a family, I got pregnant really quickly, and I don't think my husband actually really registered that we were pregnant, but I did, and I connected really deeply with the baby's spirit and with this being that I knew was going to be coming into our lives. And so it was, I immediately deep connections. And so somewhere in about 10 weeks, I think I knew that something wasn't right. But because maybe I just was denying that anything could be off, or because it wasn't really part of my reality to know that things happened, I just ignored it. And then at 12 weeks, I remember it was a Friday, November 6th, I went home from teaching, and I was spotting a little bit, and I just knew something was off, but called the midwife, and we talked about a few things, and I just laid down and tried to relax and all that. But then the next morning it was very clearly blood and pain, and that this was not going to end up with my baby. So we ended up at the hospital on a Saturday, and it was which I would try not to do ever again. All the staff wasn't there, and they kept having to wait for certain people to come in to do a test or to give me a medication or whatever. And it was the worst day of my life, I would say, still, I think. And I had always planned a really natural home birth. That's what I wanted. But when we were in there, and I can't even describe the pain. I was just screaming for whatever drug could take the pain away. But I don't think there really was anything that could. But finally they got the right people in, and I got some medication, and I decided I wanted to finish the miscarriage at home. So we got discharged and came home, and I was in less pain, but just kind of waiting. And then later that night, the fetus passed. And I was crushed in every way, but when I started to, when I saw the midwife after that and started to talk to people, and people started to say, well, yes, miscarriage is common and all these kinds of things, then I started to think that was our miscarriage, and everything was going to be fine after that, just as soon as I fixed a few things. I did know that I needed, because I had such a spiritual practice and connection with this baby, I did know that I needed to do a ceremony and to say goodbye. So I'm glad that I had the understanding of myself to know that was something that I needed. So we had a ceremony where we planted a tree, and I had family members and loved ones write a letter to the baby, and I planted the letters in the soil with the tree. And so that felt, that was something that held meaning for me, and that's what I needed.